Hi everyone, in this video I'm just going to show you how to make super quick animated fire. Now this is really more for background bits and pieces. Blender's got some really good simulation stuff in it, but if you just want something in the background, in the distance, sort of, going along, this is perfect because all I'm using is just one plane and an empty. So, you know, it's not going to slow your machine down or anything like that. So, right, let's get started. I'll delete these out and just start afresh. Keep it light. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is just going to add in a plane. I'm just going to rotate it and move it up on the z-axis, just so my origin point's still at the bottom here. And then I'm going to bring this up. So it's more like a rectangle shape. This shape will be dependent really on the image that you're going to use for the fire, which I'll show you how to do now. So I'll start by making a new material here. We can get rid of the principled, and we'll add in a transparent and an emission. What we're going to do is we're going to mix these two by the factor of the image of the fire, which we'll get to in a second. One thing we need to make sure you do in your material properties over here, just make sure that blend mode's on alpha blend, and you can probably turn shadows off for this. So now add in an image texture, and then your mapping and texture coordinates. That's Control T if you've got Node Wrangler. And then we'll open our image. So all I've done is just screenshotted some fire basically. And I'll show you what that looks like now. Grab a color ramp, plug that in here. Shift and Control left click will let you preview the node if we go into rendered. So what I want to do is use this color ramp to basically make sure that I've got a completely transparent background. The reason that's doing that is it's using these two handles to drive that. So when I put these into the mix in here, you'll see I've got transparent and then color in the white there. So you can play with this, depends on your image, what you've got. You might need to tweak this a little bit, but you really want to keep the edges clear. So then what we'll do is we've got these mixed, and now I'm just going to grab the color and put the color into the emission, and there you go. Like, if you're just doing a still image, like that could be enough in the background. Obviously it's only 2D, but it's a quick sort of hacky way of doing it if you again, if it's just in the distance. And we can mess with our strength and stuff here. If your image, if you don't like the color of the image you've used, you can just plug in another color ramp, maybe a gradient or something, and then plug that straight into the color rather than using your image. So now if that might be good enough for what you want to do, but if you want, it's super easy to sort of add and animate a little bit of flicker into this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to subdivide this a few times. Don't have to go crazy, something like that. Add in a modifier, so I'll add in now a displacement. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a new texture. Let's call this fire. Oops. And then click this little button here, will take you to your texture, and we'll just use something like clouds, I think. Make it a bit bigger, and you can see the effect that it's sort of having already. So something like that will be fine. Now what we want to do is we want to basically animate this. Now you could add in a keyframe for the size, but it's not right. Basically it's gonna be obvious that it's bouncing between something smaller and larger. So what we want to do is use an object to drive the coordinates. So if I just add in an empty, anyone will do, go back to our plane, and then what we're going to do is on the coordinates change this to object, and then we'll pick our empty here, and if I grab it, already you can see it's flickering about a little bit, And you can do that by the moving or rotating. So if you wanted to animate this, you could just set it to rotate 360 degrees or however fast you needed to go, or just move up and down an axis. But we can take it one step further if we want. What we can do is, if I go into this, if I grab the bottom couple of rows maybe, what I'm going to do is sort of lock this so it doesn't animate in just the top, so it looks more like the fire is flickering off of, you know, something. So if we go into our object data properties and we're going to make a new vertex group, and I'm just going to call this fire or something. And then with these ones that we don't want selected, I'm going to press Control I, and that'll select all the others. I'm just going to drag this up to 1. Basically, this is assigning a weight to each of these vertices, whatever the right way of saying it is, and just go assign, and then Control I back to this. I don't think you need to do this, but sometimes it doesn't work. So then assign this to nothing, and press assign. Then if we go back to our displays, we've got this vertex group down here. So if you go fire now if we grab our empty, you see it's just the top. What we can do as well is we can change the direction here to maybe the Z. So now this is it's being displaced only on the Z axis, whereas before it was doing it on the normal. So that way you could change this, you know, whichever one you want really. And then if we grab our empty, there you go. I think on the Z looks better, I think. Yeah, it's a bit better. Now if I just add in a subdivision surface, do I want to do that before? No, after. Oh, and change your mid-level to 0, that's better. There we go, that's better. Now if we grab our empty, there we go. It's not, you know, it's nothing compared to the smoke sims and all that sort of stuff, but it takes 5 minutes and it's using barely any power. You know, you can grab these, scale this down, make another one, rotate it on the Z or something, move it out of the way. And this is now still being driven by the same empty. So now, you know, you can have multiple, but bear in mind they'll be the same sort of pattern. If you do it like that, you might want to go in and change one of these to something else and then grab them, and they'll be different. You can see that. There you go. So yeah, super quick, hacky sort of way of making fire. Hope you enjoy it. Let me know if there's anything else I can help with in the comments, or any feedback would be appreciated. Nice one. Thanks a lot. Cheers. Bye.